Hey, hey, my wreath loving friends. Tonight we are going to create something crafty, and it's not a wreath, but it's something that works in the wreath style. We're still going to use the same concepts. This is for those people who may not want to purchase a wreath. You know, they can be expensive, right? So I'm doing a 4th of July extravaganza thing. I think it's called American Fest or something like that. 4th Fest. American Crossroads 4th Fest. And there's always a need for you to have things on your table that don't necessarily cost the entire cost of a wreath. So I've got like a week. How long is it until the 4th? Not much longer. I've got until the 4th to get, you know, a table full of arrangements or other items or even mini wreaths that I can put together and have something ready for these people who don't want to spend that much money. I still want people to come and look at my booth, and I don't want them to just say, ugh, and roll their eyes at a price on a wreath and walk on. No, I want them to keep looking because I have a variety of prices. And, you know, there's always that chance where I might have to perk up and say, hey, it's 4th of July. We're going to do a 25% off sale for the last hour or whatever. Who knows? But those are just ideas that are rolling around in my head. So let me tell you what I'm going to do. I love these little potted floral arrangements that I've been seeing. People are using different things to pot them in. But this particular item, I'm going to do this one in. It's just a Dollar Tree bucket. It's metal, and I've already put down in it, I didn't have any round ones, so I just put a square styrofoam form in there, and that should do the trick, I do believe. Okay, so for our fillers, our filler-uppers, I bought these flowers today, and I fell in love with them. All right, we have a tan peony, a pink chrysanthemum, some rose vines in pink, lamb's ear, and some coral looking thingies. And also we have some white eucalyptus, buffalo plaid deco mesh, as well as pink deco mesh, and a gold that I may or may not use. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. So let me flip the script, and here we go. So it's doing a little 4th of July kind of thing. But these actually will go real good with the pink and mauve. Mauve. Ooh, I don't know. Is it proper to use mauve again? I'm not sure. Anyway, this will go good with that color scheme. And the red's just going to be in the way right now. I'll move everything around when I'm done. And this is another secret arsenal in my little, bag of tricks. Here's another bag of tricks. I have paint markers. You know how if you accidentally use too much hot glue or don't fill in a space somewhere or have a flower that's peeling or a wooden sign that's flaked off? Paint markers, y'all. Get you a big old package of paint markers, and then you can just color over any little imperfections. I've got red and gold and pink and several different shades of blue, purple, green. I mean, you name it. I could have more shades of green. That I do need more shades of green, but not ready to go marker shopping just yet. I think I've got enough to make what I need with right now. So yeah, that's what those were doing out, as well as that. Guess I could have cleaned my workspace off before I got started here. I'm sorry about this. Okay. So now, this is just pretty darn simple. Okay, so what we'll do is, the very first thing we're going to want to do is secure our styrofoam into the tub. And I love these little tubs. Y'all can get them I've seen them at all the, you know, the little local stores. I'm sure you can buy them at craft stores online and everything, but I haven't been actually looking for any online. And while I haven't actually been looking for any in the stores either, they just kind of popped up in front of me, you know. Dollar Tree has the garden variety. We are good. If we start off with Gorilla Glue, we'll finish up with the Surebonder foam glue, and we should be good to go. So let's get her done. So I've got enough. Ooh, there we go. Now we're pushing it down in here. Yeah. Now she's going to stick and stay, and I'm not going to have to worry about her. That's great. I may go back in here too and just flip the little easel up on my gun and just add some extra right there. And now would be a good time, if you don't want your purchaser to be aware of the fact that you purchased this item at the Dollar Tree, now is the perfect time to remove your tag. If you had your own stickers with your logo, perfect spot right here. But you know what? I don't. So I'm going to sign it. It is a piece of art, right? Why not? If it was my painting, I'd sign it. So we're just going to go with a little and my last name. And now it's a signed piece of artwork. Love it. Love it, love it. I think that's a great idea. I'm going to start working in my name on everything I make, as much as I can anyway. Okay, so yeah, get those paint markers out, y'all. Okay, our first set of flowers that we're going to use will be the tan or taupe, whatever you want to call these, the taupe. Did we decide what kind of flowers they are? They kind of look like carnations, or I don't think they're chrysanthemums. Just says this decoration is made for indoor use only, so don't hang it on your patio, y'all. Yeah, I don't know what kind of flower that is. I could Google it real quick. And as a matter of fact, just to make myself happy, I am going to do that. Alright, survey says they're peonies. Now I'm just going to go ahead and trim off the rest of my flowers from the stems. Just trying not to bore you guys to death. Okay. After I got this out, I'm thinking, you know what? I need a little more height than that. So, let's give her a little more height because she needs more height. I'm thinking we can kind of go in on each side and put some of this in right here. Alright, so I'm going to do that on this side. Now, I'll make sure I'm on screen to hot glue for y'all, because y'all would be totally lost if you couldn't see me hot gluing. I'm only kidding. Okay. Alright. I'm just adding in as much foam coverage area as I can. I have got another big foam piece, but I'm just going to add these little small pieces right here on the side for now. And I think I'm going to add that big circular one. Can you see it? This big circular one here. I think I'm going to add it right in the middle. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. That should be enough hot glue, actually. Okay. And even if I break it like I just did, I broke my piece of styrofoam, that's perfectly fine because it's just getting glued onto the side. Okay, so let's see how that looks. And the super fun part about this is I'm not getting any of this crap all over my floor or my counters or anything else. Let's see. Just dump off any garbage there is in there. A little bit of trash right there. I'll just pull it up and out. Now this one, I think, yeah, I'm going to just put this whole piece in. I've got one big mesh thingy all the way down, not mesh, that's like an automatic go-to word for us, right? One big styrofoam block all the way in the center, and then I put an upside down styrofoam cone, like those half cone things they have. I've got it upside down right in the center, and then on each side I've put just some scrap styrofoam pieces that I had to be there to hold on to flowers for me. Okay, now let me go ahead and start working on putting some flowers. Oh, I didn't finish cutting all of this. I'm going to save this Ziploc bag. The reason is because otherwise it would just be thrown away, and I know that styrofoam is bad for the atmosphere as it stands, so I'm just going to say I'll put this up when I'm finished saving that bag so that I don't do Mother Earth any further harm. I try to somewhat right what I've done wrong when it comes to flower making and craft making. Okay, so we've whittled all that big group and bunch of flowers down to this. Okay, so I love this flower. She is definitely going in the center. She is the what's the word? The blank piece, the conversation piece. And she's going to go just about right here. I'm going to have to glue her in. But you know what? I'm going to try to lift my camera up some for y'all. Hi. All right. So there we have it. Our first piece is placed, and I'm going to go ahead and hot glue it in. Go ahead and be mindful that on this particular project, you're going to be using a lot of hot glue. So if you're working with anything that's got styrofoam in it, you're going to be using a lot of hot glue. And let me show you what I did. Instead of having it straight up, face forward, facing outward, I bent it so that it's not, I want it to be able to greet people as they come through and around it. Okay, so let's just put on a fair amount of hot glue there. Fair as opposed to an unfair amount. Okay, now there we go, and you'll get to see her come to life from the top. But don't worry, you will get to see everything before you start making your own. until I figure out exactly what I'm going to do. So let's see. The next thing I want to place is my flowers, and then I'll come back in and do the greenery, which is like white and brown. My white and brown greenery. So we have 3 of these for visual appeal. And I've got 5 of the chrysanthemums. Did I only have 4? I know I had 5. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, maybe I did only have 4, or perhaps the dog ran off with 1, but no matter. We're going to just sort of work these in, and they're quite a bit taller than the other ones. So I'll leave one a little taller there. So let's see what I can do with the roses. I wonder. Sorry, just trying to make a last minute decision. Not really much of a rose, is it, if I just do that? Get this. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay. And then here, like one side of my pliers starts to come off when I cut. That drives me bananas. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna need any of these leaves. So we're just gonna keep those on the DL for now. So the one that is going, remember the one I put in backwards? I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Well, actually kind of catty corner to the a chrysanthemum that's over here. But I'm just sort of bending this floral backwards so it's sort of taking a peek out from the inside, and I'm curling it up with a nice shape. See there how I did that? And I don't like the way that the flowers being hidden. That's okay. If we don't like it in the end, I'll come back and cut those leaves off if you can't see the flowers. So before I add anything else, let me go ahead and add some hot glue. Okay, so here's where we stand with our floral arrangement now. Isn't it cute, y'all? It's coming together great. We've got a couple of options. I want to go ahead before I add pulling out any more flowers. Before I do any of that, I want to go ahead and start adding in my faux greenery. And don't forget I've got the wire to use too, or the mesh. I want to use that mesh. I want to make use of it in this project. So actually I may go ahead and make some mesh rolls first. This right here that I'm using is my bag of leftovers. Okay, all these are leftover stems from where I trimmed them off of flowers, and there was a whole stem left. I call it my scrap. This is my bag of scrap scrap pieces that I can make floral wire with. Okay? And remember, if you recall, we were going to need to make one for each one of these pieces of my faux greenery. I'm going to start with a lamb's ear. Why? Because of the color. This is our super light color, and I want that super light color to be up there on the top. And this is the very tip-top piece of lamb's ear, so I'm going to put it on the very tip-top of my project. Okay. I'm just going to try to peep in here and find something that is... no, we need a longer one. Find one of your longer pieces of scrap. And you know what? If you don't have one long enough, then, well, by golly, just make one. Okay? A lot of people pay a lot of money for this little machine that does this for you. And it gives you this really super pokey, pointy device. A pen or a, I don't know what it's called. Push pen thingy. I don't need all that. I've got scraps, y'all. Okay, 86 that. I just wanted to see what this lamb's ear looked like. Okay, did I get off all the excess glue? Yes, I did. So now you see what we've got coming together here is a different look. See that? It's going to be so cute. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and start rolling up some mesh. I don't think I'm going to use that gold. It just kind of, you know, kind of gives me that feeling. So I'm just going to use the mesh. And we're going to cut the mesh into 10-inch squares. I'll need my rotary cutter. You'll need your rotary cutter. Or scissors, whichever you choose to use. If you have a piece of glass down on your table, make sure you remove the glass. That glass is for my glue gun. And this is an open thing of, look at that, Dollar Tree mesh. You can tell it. This is an open package of mesh. I've got like 3 open packages of mesh. So, no big deal. What am I going to do? I'm going to just cut off the edge here. Where did my rotary gun go? Yeah, rotary gun. Rotary cutter. Jeez. Alright, I'm just going to cut that off. And I'm going to cut these into, let's see. I'm just going to roll it up to see how big that piece should be to feel right, to look full and pretty like I want it to. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 5 little curls. Alright, so let's see how long that is. From here, 11. So 1.5 to 11.5 is 10. So you heard it here first. I did it based on looks only, not a number. And I came up with the number 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut, I'm going to start by cutting about 10 of each color. I'm going to do 10 of the buffalo plaid and 10 of the pink, and then I'll be right back with you guys after we get it cut. Okay, we've got all of our mesh cut. I don't think you can even see it in camera, but it's over here. Here's our big stack of mesh. I ended up cutting 11 buffalo plaid and 11 pink because the buffalo plaid was going to have one left over, and I thought, let's just go ahead and cut 11 of each. That'll give us plenty of space for filling room, and if we need more, we can cut more. But we can't cut less, remember that. And this is another time you guys are going to get to see me use my scrap. Yay! I need something to hold these pieces together, and I'm going to have 11 of them. If you look really closely down in here, you're going to see some neutral colors that I have. And these are just leftovers that I've cut off of other little pieces of mesh chenille stem projects. So I've got a lot of grays in there. There's a white. I don't want to get cray-cray on the color. So, you know, if I run out of the colors that will work, then we'll just cut more. But if we don't need to, use that scrap, y'all. I mean, use that scrap up. There is no need to be wasteful. So I'm just using any color that might blend in with the background. I think I have one more right here. Let me see how many pieces this is, because I've got 11 sets, and these will be done in set. I'm going to be doing one pink, one buffalo plaid, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. It's like it was just meant to be 11. Do I have a brown one or a white one? I do not. But you know what I do have? I've got this funky junky little piece of iridescent one. So we'll hold on to the iridescent one because I did feel one in here that was really pretty short. So I don't know if it's going to be long enough for me to make one with. I think it was this piece. This is pretty short. I might have gotten a little, you know, way too amorous on this one and been like, hey, I'm keeping everything. Which I have been known to do. So, now, for any other upcoming red, orange, blue, green projects I have, the first place I'm going to look for my chenille stems will be in here. Now, then I may need long ones that, you know, that I have to use brand new, and that's fine. But as long as I start out looking in the looking in that what do I call it? Looking at my scrap section first, then that is a-okay. And now I don't know about y'all, but after I cut mesh, it's got to go. It's got to clean up all that little junk that's on the table. Okay, I'm going to show you one of these, and then I'll go ahead and fold the rest as well. So this is really, really simple. We're going to take these, so I have a total of 22 10-inch cuts of deco mesh, foil pink deco mesh, and then just a plain buffalo plaid deco mesh. It's just plain deco mesh. I would call it fabric, but it doesn't even have a piece of fabric in it. So, okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is roll this up into about an inch wide curl. Okay? So just get your curl going there and roll it all the way through to the very end. I think I have a clamp in here. Let me see if I do. I should have a clamp in here. This is a crafter room. You know, I probably have one and it's been stolen by the clamp thieves. Let me grab one. You know, sometimes I can't say too much because sometimes I am the clamp thief, okay? I won't deny it. So where the seam comes up, the last little piece, I'm going to smush and push, okay? And that gives you like a little bow tie look. Just remember, smush and push, okay? Now I'm going to take our other one, and we're going to roll it up in about an inch long circle. Oh, I've got fuzzies everywhere. So about 1 inch, and I let it loosen up just a little bit naturally so that I can kind of, you know, stack it there on the end, because we want it to be aligned. We don't want to have ends that are all crazy and cattywampus. Okay, so we take the part where the end is. Can y'all see that? See where the end is right there? I'm going to take it, put that end on the top, and I'm going to, right in the middle, I'm going to smush, and then I'm going to take the sides and push into the middle. So we're going to smush and push. Okay? And now what you'll do is you'll take your two sides that are cut and place them next to one another. So this is all just in the hopes of not having any excessive fraying. That's my whole purpose in doing that. So now what we're going to do is, after our smushing and our pushing, we're going to take one of our little cuts. This is about 1/3 of a piece of chenille stem, just so y'all know how long that is. And then we're just going to twist it up, 2 or 3 little twists. Don't need a ton on there, because the more you twist and turn and twist and turn, you will end up with fray. So we're not trying to get it to fray. We're just going to nip off any extra little pieces that come down from there. And we have our first little bundle roll. Isn't she cute? Yeah, that reminds me, I'm a Barbie girl. That's what it looks like to me. It really does. Totally thinking of a Barbie doll. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these. I have 10 more to go, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have all 11 bundles, little bitty baby bundles, tied together. They're each 10-inch long, 6-inch Dollar Tree mesh, tied into their own little bundles. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use now some more of my scrap, my other scrap pieces, and I'm going to try to get the longest ones that I can find. But I'll show you on the first one what we're going to do with it and how we're going to place it. Okay? So, really important, when you do put your little bundles together, make sure you tie them in really nice and tight. Get that zip tie a good 4 to 6 turns, so that you know when you come back in, you're going to have to trim off the excess, and you've ended up wasting maybe an inch, went into the trash. Isn't that great? I love it. Rather than half of a chenille stem going into the trash. Alright, so what we're going to do here, I always look for the side that I think is the prettiest, and that's the side I want facing outward. I'm trying to make that go back in there. It'll go. Alright, yeah, so this is the side that I want to face outward, upward, however you want to, you know, what verbiage you want to use there is up to you, but pretty side out, right? And then we're going to just basically put it on a stem just like that. So in order to do that, what do we need to do? We got to use our glue, right? I think I'm going to try something a little bit different, so I'll take the heat if it doesn't work. Literally, I'm just going to put a dab of hot glue right there in my mesh, because I want the hot glue to go down into the mesh and not get stuck everywhere else. And then I'm going to take my little tip and just work it down. You can feel it if you spin it around and kind of roll it some. There you go. You can feel it moving into the pieces of mesh. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue this on, Isn't that cute? Like a little lollipop. My puppy dog would probably think it was edible. This is going to be really cute, y'all. I absolutely love it. This pink and brown with the pink and black. They go together so well. It's just unreal to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get all of these loaded onto, what are these things called? Floral stems. I'm going to get them all loaded onto floral stems, and then we'll be right back and we'll be ready to start planting in our little potter. Okay, here we go. We are back and we have all of our little, our Barbie curlies. They just remind me of Barbie. I'm sorry. They're very, very feminine. These are. These would look great in your office, or if you had like a feminine, I don't know, if you have your side of the bathroom, maybe in your side of the bathroom or on your nightstand. I don't know, I'm just thinking of some places that, you know, you want to be really feminine. Now, I don't know exactly how long each stem will need to be. That will be determined at the time of placement. But one thing I did want to say was when you're gluing on your stems, that's the perfect time to go ahead and look around on your little twisty roll and make sure it's cleaned up. So just trim off any excess, any little floaties that don't, you know, that are looking like they don't belong there. Go ahead and clean them up right then and there. So all you got to do is just start on this and bing, bang, boom, you are ready to go. So for this first one, I'm going to go down right here on the side, and keep in mind the whole point of this is to hide the greenery, right? The greenery underneath, and we may have to go back and make more. I don't know. Right now we're just working. We're just working to see what will work. That's what blow dryers are for, to fix all your babies. Okay, so here we go. And like I said, we are going to be making a bow. We're just not quite ready for that step yet. Now we're going to, I'm going to say I have 2 of these left over, and I'm going to save them for now because I want to use them in a prominent area up top. Okay, like the ones at the bottom are serving a purpose for hiding greenery. The ones I'm going to use on the top, the purpose they are going to serve is looking cute. And I think they're totally capable of doing that. So yeah, this is really, I'm very proud of it. It's really starting to look good. Just decided maybe I should turn it at the angle where y'all can actually see it, not just me. Okay. So we've started with the lamb's ear, so I want to go ahead and finish up working on my lamb's ear. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 little tiny pieces of lamb's ear. I'm going to go ahead and pull those off and put them on some stems, and I'll be right back, guys. Alright, I have all 7 of our lamb's ear pieces trimmed. And of course, we have plenty more lamb's ear around here, around the house. So if we need more, we'll just go grab some. As a matter of fact, what do y'all think? Should we maybe put the lamb's ear on last? Since it's kind of, to me, it's sort of the coup de grace. It's the almost like it's iridescent, like it needs to be seen above the other flowers. So I think we're actually going to put those on last, along with our last two little little spinners, little sparklers, little sparkly pinwheels. Woo! Okay. All right, so next, let's see what we've got. We've got our white eucalyptus, which is going to be just gorgeous. It looks like white chocolate to me. That's what it reminds me of, like a Hershey's white chocolate bar. That's what I'm seeing there. And then we have this stuff, which is not really going with the pink thing very well. I may need to run over here and do some shopping in my flower section. Hang on a minute. Okay, I'm dropping stuff all over the floor here. All right. I came up with, keep in mind, this pink is not your regular, like, birthday cake cotton candy pink. It is a mauve type pink, mauve, whatever. So the pink from the Dollar Tree is working with it because I have this black and tan offsetting it with the buffalo plaid. So I was thinking, you know, if we bring these little pieces in here, they're not working with this. For me, they're just not working. It's just not coming together in a pretty setting like I wanted it to, which is totally fine because that means I just get to use this stuff that looks like coral on a different project. And that works for me. Now, the white chocolate, well, chocolate goes with everything, so bing, that one's okay. I found something else while I was flower shopping in my flower stash. Pink berries. Pink berries will go fine. And let's see how many I've cut. Actually, one of them looks black almost, just because it's not colored all the way through. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 sets of pink berries. One of them is not really sprayed very well at all, but that's okay because it goes with the black. I'm going to cut these stems off as long as I can for starters, and then we'll trim them back down when we're planting them in the potter. We need to call this something other than just I don't know, tabletop arrangement. That's so boring. It's not me. It's not my style. And I can't use the word Barbie because, well, I don't own her, so I can't sell her. What am I going to call this? What about I've got the name. Hold on. I just have to come up with one more word. It's got to rhyme with tree. Okay, so we've got these guys. We've got our lamb's ear. We've got these. Now the last pick that we have to make are of our white chocolates. So let's just get busy pulling those off so I can put them back on something else. And I've also got something that I just made over here. So excited about that. This may go in here too, y'all. I just made this tonight. What do y'all think? Oh, you can't see it. What do you think about that? I'm going to put some swirly curlies to poke out of it. This swirly curly is literally a chenille stem with the deco mesh roping pulled over it and a little, I had a pack of these Dollar Tree little iridescent cherry looking things. That's it. This might cost a quarter. I don't know. If that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, hit pause, see you back in just 1 minute with our eucalyptus on flower stems. I have just decided to make it simple and make it cute. Reminds me of something I could buy at at one of those little country style restaurants. We're just going to call it the Bloomin' Flower Bucket. And the Bloomin' Flower Bucket is some blooming flowers in a bucket. So original, right? But that's exactly what it is. It's a Bloomin' Flower Bucket. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start knocking out the rest of these items. We're going to go in and bang, bang, boom. Before you know it, you do this right, this will only take you a few minutes to make. Her to kind of stand up at attention like that, but of course she's going to refuse to cooperate. There's one last item we got to do still, y'all, and that's going to be the bow. But that is no big deal. No, it's just a bow. Oh, poet didn't know it. Poet didn't know it because I rhyme every time. And because this one is right up on the top, since I have one right here beside me, I'm going to glue a little pearl on there. Yep. I like to add little tiny creations here and there just to accent what I can on my flowers. Hopefully you can hear me. Because don't tell my husband, but I broke my microphone. I'm having to use the phone mic tonight. Okay. And we've got a super cutesy patootsy little pearl. We're just going to stick her right there. She's going to mimic this little guy right here. And so we're going to put this little guy in here. And then I'm going to make one or two more of these. And then we'll work on the bow. And guys, we're done with today's project. I'm so excited. The Bloomin' Flower Bucket. She's a beauty. Okay, give me just a sec. I'm going to go ahead and get this attached to a stem, get it in our bouquet, and we'll be ready to start on the final touch, which is the bow. All right, y'all, I'm about to make a long story real short. I forgot to hit record, so I made a bow and I put it in. I made two more curlies and I put those in. And it's pretty much that simple. And please accept my apologies. LOL. I truly hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me a like and leave a comment below. Subscribe to my channel. And I'll be more than happy to send you guys links to any videos you'd like to see, or give me your feedback. Let me know what you want to see. Okay? So until next time, see ya then. Bye-bye.